Microing can be a very difficult thing to get down, whether it's taking care of your front line or having to be in the very back. The actions you spend with your mouse are very important. Today we're going to be checking out some ways that you can improve your micro in Beyond All Reason. The first way to really get started with a decent micro is to have a game plan when you're going into your game. You need to know exactly what construction units will be doing what and exactly when you plan on having them do it. Are you going for power first, or are you going into your mexes immediately after they're done? To queue up multiple actions at once, select the building that you wish to build with, and then hold down Shift and click all the places where you want to build it, and it will build them one right after the other. This is the very basics of micro and the most essential part of getting good at the game. Make sure that you have enough energy being produced to supply the energy for your army and even your T2 that's coming up in the future. Now that you have the basic buildings being built and queued up, you can move into a more pressing matter of building your army. Make sure as you're building units that you have a rally point set further into the front line so your units will automatically travel forward. Whether you have your commander at your base or at the front line, make sure that you take advantage of his 300 build power and his awesome D-gun. Just because you have a plan does not mean you're going to be able to do exactly what you want every time. You need to stay mobile and be able to change as things happen around you. An example of this would be enemies raiding you as you're trying to build, or maybe you are overproducing energy and need to convert it into metal. After you've done all that, this is where the fun part begins. Your army should have been building rapidly as you were busy working on your micro. The backline is essentially an autopilot all the way to T2 if you did things correctly. This leaves a lot of attention that you can now use to attack your enemy on the front line. It's still a good idea to check the back every once in a while to make sure nothing is going wrong. Things that you should look for would be energy conversion, maybe building a new constructor, moving into T2, and things of that nature. Late game micro after you hit T2 becomes a bit more complicated. It is important to change your mindset slightly when dealing with micro in T2. As the game increases in time, it becomes less about your little area and more about the areas around you. This is also why it becomes challenging as the game progresses to micro your economy efficiently while also maintaining control of your front line. You will likely fail with your micro multiple times before getting it down. You'll play game after game. Each game will bring you new experiences to try things that you haven't tried before. But this is the joy of Beyond All Reason. Because each game is different, you'll have opportunity to learn something new every time you play. And with practice, your micro will improve and your rank will increase. Never give up and never give in to the haters. Always be willing to try something you haven't tried before, because you could be the first person to discover a strategy that no one else has ever seen. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video and that you got some value. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you guys on the battlefield.